John Money and his best friend Chris love skateboarding, but when they're not out kicking up their heels and rolling up a ramp, you'll find them mesmerized by the Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers is the all-time best-selling video game on the market under the Nintendo label. And it must be pretty good for someone to want to spend all of one night and 5 days doing nothing but trying to rescue a princess from hundreds of bad guys. John says he scored $10 million doing just that. The game's counter only goes as far as 999,950. But John says his friend kept track of the score as he played over and over again, surprising even himself.
It just wasn't me. If it was me, I would have probably been in there watching TV. But I guess game got control of me. Game got control of me.
Got control of me.
And Nintendo addicts have plenty of gadgets to fill their video appetite, including cereal, clothes, and scores of other trinkets. It's a fad that at this point knows no limit.
A world generated by computers and corporations, a reality designed to replicate a real human experience.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High God, Yahuwah and Yahusha, the Hamashiach, the one you refer to as Jesus Christ. And I just want to thank you for joining me in this new series I like to call Symbols and Products series. I know some of you may have been thinking, I wonder when he was going to get around to this one. But I'm finally getting into it. We are going to discuss the symbols and products. And the product that I've chosen for today's series is Nintendo. Guys, a lot of us don't understand the Luciferian connotations behind these products. Again, I'm going to say this once and once only. Remember, we understand that when Satan had fell with his 200 leagues of angels, right? And they brought a lot of the things that were heavenly, like the technologies and the knowledge and all these types of things. If you read the book of Enoch, they brought these things to earth. So a lot of these quote unquote game systems and things that we have are products of Luciferianism. And I know that's hard to hear for you hardcore gamers out there, or a lot of you believers who feel that, oh, playing games is not that bad. And, come on now, you're reaching. So guys, I don't make these things up. Right? I know you guys have heard how many times I've said this. I don't make these things up, man. So we're going to get into Nintendo. Now, we saw the intro in the beginning with the boy who talked about how these games are addicting. And that's one of the traits that a lot of these games carry. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the children in this generation, parents out there or guardians out there, the children are obsessed with the video games. They're obsessed with the Fortnite. They're obsessed with the Pokemon. They're obsessed with the Yu-Gi-Oh! And all types of things. There's a reason why. Just like our food has a lot of like toxic chemicals, the fast food and things of that nature has a lot of toxic chemicals and addicting chemicals inside of the food to make you addicted to it. Games have the same thing. Pictures, images that are flashing by multiple frames per second, and sort of just this sort of futuristic idea that they can be immersed and encapsulated in a false reality, right, is addicting. Remember what we spoke about in regards to the metaverse, right? This is all metaversal stuff. All of our video games and all of our consoles was setting us up for the metaverse. So let's look into Nintendo. So the first picture that we see, I wanted to show y'all. Yo, man, I don't make these things up. This is the symbol of the Nintendo Switch. And guys, as you can see from the first photo, we have something very interesting. We not only have our black and white. Remember, our black and white is another representation of the checkerboard floor from Freemasonry, right? So we not only have our black and white here, but we have the as above, so below. If you look at the left-hand side with the left Joy-Con, it's up. And then on the right Joy-Con is white and it's going down. As above, so below. If you don't believe me, let's look at the next symbol. So this symbol is another form of the Nintendo Switch console. joystick. And again, this is and you can look this up. This is the Shin Megami Tensei sort of special. Like, you know how they come out with sort of bonus like consoles and stuff with the game included and stuff, like the Zelda Switch and all these types of things. This is the Shin Megami Tensei one. And as you can see, as above, so below. And we have our red and black. And again, our color-coded symbolism. We have the red and black, which symbolizes Luciferianism. It symbolizes ritualistic worship and sacrifice, right? This is the same color-coded symbolism that is used in the Catholic Church, right? Let's continue. I'm not done yet. I don't make these things up. As you can see, this is the Nintendo Switch console. And when the first Nintendo Switch had released, you had a Joy-Con on the left-hand side, which was blue. And then you had the right Joy-Con, which was red. Right? And what have we said about red and blue? Fire and ice. As above, so below. Right? Republican, Democrat. Boxing, red ring, white, blue ring. Right? Again, this is the symbolism that is within these sort of gaming consoles. And we need to be fully aware and fully understanding of what this is and what symbols that are being portrayed and what we're purchasing. So I'm just going to show you a few photos of different types of games and things that are replicating this red and blue, or as above, so below. As you can see, I wanted to show you a common sign. This is the yin yang sign, dark and light, or as above, so below, right? You have your dark at the top and your light at the bottom, right? The light circle is at the bottom, the dark circle is at the top, but then you have the light sort of coinciding with the black, right? This is very similar to the first photo we saw of the Nintendo Switch. And let's get into it. Here's a few games. We have Pokemon Red and Blue. We have Pokemon Sun and Moon. We have, and I don't even have this photo for this one, but we had Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red, right? We have so many Pokemons that are always encapsulating the red and blue, the fire and ice, right? We have Game of Thrones, fire and ice, red and blue, as above, so below, right? So again, I don't make these things up. So as you can see, and what I'm about to show you now is the Nintendo Switch snap sound. And I wanted to repeat this a couple of times because it's showing you the as above, so below symbol. That's when it hooks in like that in slow motion. That's the as above, so below being locked in. So let's continue. Let's watch it for a little bit. So welcome to part 2, symbols and products. So let's get into it. I wanted to kind of talk about the Nintendo DS, just the history of Nintendo. And as we can see, all these Nintendo DSs that they came out with laid down on this table here. I used to be an owner of a Nintendo DS. I think I still may have one. But as you can see here, we have a very similar pattern happening with the Nintendo DS. And no one begs the question to ask, oh, well, why do they have dual screens, right? And people think, oh, it's just so you can play, one thing up top and see one thing at the bottom. So you could just be in, it could be cool. You could do two different things at the same time. Remember, there is no such things in this world known as coincidences, right? Nothing just happens to just happen. You have to question every single thing, right? So again, as you can see, these Nintendo DS consoles are modeling the as above, so below, right? Your top screen being your as above and your bottom screen being your so below, right? So again, You can't make these things up. There's no reason why they made so many of these same DS consoles. The Switch was the only console which they stopped doing the dual screen concept, right? And even with the Switch, it still encapsulates the as above, so below theme. So I just wanted to sort of highlight on that and sort of educate us real quick about the products that we are carrying in our homes and the games that we are allowing either our children or, or ourselves to partake and participate in. It's very imperative and important for us to understand the dangers that we may be exposing ourselves to spiritually, because this is, again, all conditioning for the metaverse. So when the metaverse comes, people are going to be quickly to accept it because they are already conditioned with the false reality of playing all these video games. This is why the Most High says in the scriptures to come out of the world. When he says to be set apart, it means to not take part in anything that is worldly, right? Including these things, right? And whether we like it or not, we have to start to separate ourselves from these things, because when the grid go off and this place goes into shutdown, they want you in the metaverse. And I told you, this is the reason why Facebook changed their name to Metaverse. This is the reason why Walmart is investing in Metaverse. This is why Amazon investing in Metaverse, having all these patents for the Metaverse, right? This is the reason why, because when the grids go off and this place collapses, all they're going to make you believe is that you have is this online false reality while the world outside crumbles. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much in joining me in this Symbols and Products series. Much peace, blessings, and joy to you, your family, and your loved ones.
A world generated by computers and corporations. A reality designed to replicate a real human experience.